Development of a test for measuring social and emotional competency. My name is Chung Yun Kim from Gangnam University. Introduction. In the era of Fourth Industrial Revolution and artificial intelligence, there is an emphasis on nurturing emotional, creative talents equipped with human, non-cognitive characteristics that artificial intelligence can achieve through understanding, empathy, and flexible communication for themselves and others. This means that there is a need to go beyond education that only emphasizes cognitive aspects and to cultivate talent who can adapt to rapid environmental changes through balance with non-cognitive aspects. This is because an individual's non-cognitive characteristics are relatively easier to change than cognitive characteristics, and are an important variable that can predict academic achievement and success. Accordingly, Yonggyong and colleagues suggested the need to develop a social emotional competency tool that reflects the learner's values, attitudes, and motivations based on understanding and respect among various members of society while pursuing a harmonious life for oneself and others. In addition, the World Economic Forum, that is to say, WEF, emphasized the development of social emotional competencies as a way to achieve success in life, including daily life, learning, forming social relationships, and personal development, as a way to develop human social and emotional capabilities. Developing the capacity to understand, manage, and express emotional aspects is receiving a session. Meanwhile, after the outbreak of COVID-19, positive interactions with various members and positive feedback from instructors were found to be helpful in communication and collaboration as college students achieved their chosen challenges and goals. In other words, this allowed college students to experience success by gaining confidence while solving problems while challenging various educational experiences. To achieve this, college students must ask various types of questions, listen actively, and adapt emotionally. In addition, instructors must strengthen individually tailored feedback and help college students develop coaching capabilities that enable them to recognize the present and future and engage in creative practice. Accordingly, the purpose of this study is to comprehensively measure the multifaceted attributes that Korean college students must have according to the changes in the university and social environment that they face after the outbreak of COVID-19, and to develop a measurement tool for college students' social emotional competency appropriate for the Korean language and cultural context. We want to develop and validate it. In particular, since competency continues to develop as one grows. If the social emotional competency measurement tool is developed, according to a consistent logical system under the same criteria. It is possible to analyze differences in background variables and overall developmental tendencies of college students, and to use adapted measures from overseas studies. It can be different from other tools. Second, theoretical background. First, self-understanding and management. Self-understanding and management is an accurate understanding of oneself, understanding everything about one's body and mind as it is, and including both positive and negative aspects. If college students who have graduated from high school and have just entered their early adult years can understand and accept themselves as they are, they can also understand others. Their interpersonal relationships become smoother and stress decreases. Accordingly, in this study, even in the face of unpredictable situations such as COVID-19, we can look at ourselves objectively from a social and emotional perspective and accurately identify self-identity, self-acceptance, role recognition, strengths and limitations, and this can influence our behavior. By understanding how it affects you, you can maintain a positive attitude. Second, understanding others. In interactions that occur in relationships between two or more people, understanding others is a complex psychological way of thinking about and responding to others. In particular, Korean college students have experienced problems such as lack of communication and passive attitudes due to limitations on interaction and collaboration. In non-face-to-face classes and metaverse learning environments that have expanded further since the outbreak of COVID-19. However, since virtual reality-based learning environments such as metaverse can provide various social clues such as visual, auditory, and tactile. Third, relationship management. In human life, flexible interpersonal relationships and close interactions with others during the college student period in early adulthood are one of the important developmental tasks. Accordingly, the Korea College Essential Skills Assessment, KCSA, emphasized communication that allows sharing information and opinions with others using verbal or nonverbal elements for flexible interpersonal relationships. The Ministry of Education also emphasized nurturing inclusive talents who can emphasize with the society through education that can solve problems in the community they belong to through consideration and communication. Fourth, social adaptation. College students must develop the adaptability to feel happy in order to lead a successful social life after graduation. Especially after entering college, when one must form various social relationships, an attitude of contributing and devoting oneself to the development of the community in a harmonious relationship with members is necessary. To achieve this, you must perform tasks responsibly, confidently, share your opinions and feelings with members, and be able to resolve conflicts amicably when they arise. Fifth, emotional adaptation. College students must recognize various life values and orientations and adjust emotionally by controlling anxiety, stress, and depression to effectively express the feelings and emotions hidden in their thoughts. Through this, negative emotions are reduced and positive emotions are increased, enabling successful emotional adaptation while effectively solving various problems. Accordingly, this study defines it as emotional adaptation using coaching attitudes and methods. Research questions are following like this. Research question first. First research question is like this. What are the components of the social emotional competency measurement tool for college students? Second research question is like this. Is the social emotional competency measurement tool for college students valid? 3. Research method. This study is about the subject like this. The subjects of the study were college students who are already adult learners, currently attending universities to obtain a bachelor's degree at universities located across the country. 965 people participated in the preliminary test, and 1,025 people participated in the main test. Procedure is like this. Components and development questions developed through a literature review on social emotional competencies of college students were derived. In order to evaluate the content validity of this question, on the basis that the number of expert groups is preferably 3 to 10, in order to determine the content validity of the components and questions of this study, a doctorate in higher education and universities education support system project were concerted. And based on this study procedure, the statistical method is applied to get a good result. And in the following slide, there are the developed items of this study, which is called social and emotional competency of college students. 4 results. The first column is about factor, self-understanding and management, understanding others, relationship management, social adaptation, and emotional adaptation. And these questions is like this. The self-understanding and management, the first item is I can express my feelings with appropriate words. And first item of understanding others is I try to be curious and find out about many things and people are surrounding me. First sentence of relationship management is I am a person who can dedicate myself to achieving better results through good self-management. And in the next factor, the social adaptation. And the first item is when I find myself in unexpected situations, I try to learn new ideas or values. And the final column is about emotional adaptation. And the first sentence is like this. I want to coach myself to change negative emotions into positive emotions to solve problems. So items, sentences, or questions are the same meanings, and the developed items are like this. Discussion. This study will have academic and social contributions, manpower training plans, expected effects, and utilization plans in education, and follow research as follows. First, data on various background variables were collected for college students by gender, grade, major, and region, and construct validity, including convergent and discriminant validity, was verified through exploratory and confirmatory factor analysis using the data. So this kind of measurement tool was developed. Second, by defining the concept of social emotional competency and deriving its components and subfactors, the scope of application of social emotional competency can be made clearer, and through this, the direction of future talent development at a macro level can be sought. Third, measuring social emotional competency can reveal developmental characteristics and develop, design, and verify effectiveness of teaching learning models and programs tailored to learners. Accordingly, it is possible to establish a foundation for educational support linked to tasks at each stage of college student development that is consistent and continuous. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you so much.